And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. How are you today? I hope you're all well. First Saturday deadline of the season, I think, right? Do you guys prefer the Saturday deadlines or the Friday deadlines? I'm not much of a morning person. I probably look so tired right now. I did have a late one actually, deliberating my transfers, and I have made a transfer. Son is in my team. It was a last minute decision. I'll talk all about that during this stream. So that's happened. I've made the transfer. Welcome to the team, Son. Captain's still on Haaland, but he's in the team. FPL's back after the international break. Felt like a long time. It was only 2 weeks, but we're back for another deadline stream. You guys prefer the Saturday deadline streams? Kelly says, club football is back, lads. Lucas prefers the Saturday deadlines because he lives in Asia. That makes sense. Yeah, the Friday deadlines are brutal if you live in Asia or somewhere on the eastern side of the world. So yeah, welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you're all well. I think there was Austin says, morning Oscar. Big shout out to all the Sun captainers. We ride or die. Yeah, good luck to all the Sun captainers. I hope it comes off for you guys because it's always scary going against Haaland, and it's a really nice fixture, I have to say. Originally, I planned to roll the transfer, but I did end up making a transfer. I've sold Fernandes for some, so I'll talk about that. I don't feel super confident about it, but it's an exciting move. Obviously, Arsenal, Liverpool, not great fixtures. Man United have got Burnley, Crystal Palace, but I'll talk all about the transfers. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Morning, Cheekster. Morning, Aditya. How we doing? Shout out to José tuning from Mexico. Morning. Yeah, get all your questions in. Started a little bit early today. We were going to start at 9:30, but I was ready to go, so I thought let's just do it. Tea is ready. Morning, John. How we doing? Robin asks, march to Sun and take a -4. I actually quite like that move, yeah. I mean, I don't like taking hits. I haven't taken any so far this season, but I think that's a fair -4. You know, Brighton have got European football starting up next midweek, so I think we're going to see more rotation. I think we're going to see Ansu Fati this game week. Don't know if he'll start based on De Zerbi's comments, but I think we're going to see him. But yeah, he's not really competition for March. He's probably going to play the João Pedro role, or maybe competition from Mitoma. Start Henry or Estepinian. I've got a gut feeling Estepinian might actually be benched. I took a screenshot of his embargoed comments, which came out late last night. So I'll talk about that in a sec. I'm starting Gabriel. I think I'd actually start Henry out of those. I'm not sure if Estepinian starts based on what De Zerbi said. So if you've got him, that's something to think about. Obviously, there's no guarantee that Gabriel starts, but I'm starting Gabriel over Estepinian myself. Obviously, Arsenal better on the clean sheet odds, but Estepinian's super attacking. But I think Gabriel edges it this week. Is James back? Reece James not back, so if you've got Gusto, he looks good for this game week. Yeah, Pochettino said he hopes to see James before the next international break, so that could be like 2-3 weeks for all we know. So Gusto looks good for now, so if you've got Gusto, he's fine to start against Bournemouth. No James yet. Critical Clip says, start Sanchez or Pope? Oh, good question. Let's see what the clean sheet odds say. Newcastle, 39.5% chance of a clean sheet. Where's Chelsea? 34. It's pretty close. I think Sanchez, though. I mean, we're talking about 5% difference here, 5.5. I think Sanchez. What do you guys think? Who's likely to keep a clean sheet? Newcastle home to Brentford. Brentford are flying, let's be honest. Chelsea away to Bournemouth. I can see both conceding, to be honest, but I think I'll start Sanchez away to Bournemouth between those two. What's your website called again? FPL.page. We actually just rolled out an update on the website. I'll have to show you guys this real quick because this is so cool. We've now got a fixture ticker here, and you can sort by like hardest fixtures, so you could go like next 4 game weeks. You can sort by easiest, so this is really handy for picking or finding teams that have got a good fixture run. FPL.page. So we're going to add more. We're going to add stuff like sort by rotation, so you could pick Fulham and then see who they rotate with, for example. Yeah, and you can pick Gameweek ranges. So yeah, fpl.page if you want to check that out. Completely free forever. Luke says you look great with a cap. I'll be honest, my hair was a mess. I didn't have time to sort myself out. I'm heading into London straight after the stream, and I thought I'd just get ready after the stream. I needed my sleep because I had a late one last night deciding whether to get Son or not, and I did in the end. Jacob Miles says, hey Oscar, would you get Son or Sterling in for either Rashford or Bruno, or hold off for a week? So, I've sold Fernandes for Son myself. I don't feel totally confident about the transfer, but I'll talk about why I did it. First of all, obviously Son's the better pick this week. Over the next three, maybe up for question, because they've got Arsenal away, Liverpool home. But there was a few reasons. Obviously, first of all, Man United have got no Sancho or Anthony, so we might see Fernandes playing down the right. Not necessarily a bad thing. He could do perfectly fine there, but it's not his usual position. And that could mean something like McTominay in the midfield. So I just feel like, I don't know if I trust that midfield. You know, Man United are in disarray at the moment. So for me, it was between Saka and Bruno. And I didn't really want to go double Man United still. I'd rather have one Arsenal, one Man United. So then I decided it'd be Bruno. And what's the other reason? Yeah, and Rashford's playing down the left now because Holland's probably going to make his full debut. And Rashford's much better down the left. So it's really close, but I went for Fernandes myself. But I think holding is perfectly fine as well because, let's be honest, Man United have got really good fixtures. Like Burnley, I think they're rock bottom in the league or 19th. That's a great fixture there. Like Burnley have been on the receiving end of 6 double-digit hauls this season, which is more than any team. So I think it's also fine to just keep hold of Bruno and Rashford. But yeah, it's an exciting transfer. It's a bit risky, but that's why I went for it. And for me, between Rashford and Bruno, it's Bruno. So I've made that move. It does mean I'll have to make a transfer next week in defence rather than roll, because I'll have Gabriel against Tottenham. Udogi's got Arsenal. They're playing one another. So I would start Estepinian against Bournemouth. I'd start Chilwell against Villa, and then I'd have to sell Shaw. But I can do Shaw to share, so that's fine. But I'm basically booking in that transfer for myself, and also hoping that there's going to be no injuries elsewhere. Otherwise, it'll be a -4. So a little bit risky, but I've done it. Flandy says AIK is the best team in the world. AIK, thanks for the 17 months, Flandy. Appreciate that very much, mate. Thank you. Estepinian for Udogi. I don't mind that at all, but you have to just be careful because Udogi's got Arsenal and Liverpool. I don't want to start him in either of these two games. He'll be on my bench. And Estepinian's got Bournemouth home in Gameweek 6. But yeah, I don't mind that. As long as you can bench Udogi for those tougher games there, I think that's fine. What transfer did Oscar make? I've sold Bruno for Son. That's my transfer. Mbumo or March in the first team. Mbumo. Salah captain. Yeah, I think this week there's some really good options. Son's a great captain. Salah's a great option. Maybe Maddison. I know some of you are going Maddison captain. Haaland, obviously. Let's do an early captain poll. See who your captain is. And if it's not in this poll, let me know who your other is. Who's your captain? Haaland, Son. I guess it would be Haaland, Son, Salah, and other. Get your votes on the poll. Are you using the wildcard? No, I'm not using the wildcard. Not this week. I think I'll probably use it around game week 8, is it? Let me just pull up the fixtures here. Is it game week 8 or 9? Game week 9, potentially. So that's an international break between game week 8 and 9. And after that break, Chelsea's fixtures turn. And there's some really nice fixtures for the likes of Liverpool and a few other teams. So I may wildcard all my Chelsea guys out. I might get Salah. There's a few turning fixtures then. Or I might wait till game week 10 and load up on Arsenal because they've got Sheffield United home. I think Game Week 9 or 10 is probably when our wildcard, but not decided on that 100% yet. Is there any injury news? There has been a bit, so let's do the news roundup, and I'll just cover some of the key stuff from yesterday's press conferences. Man City first. Pep confirms that Grealish, Stones and Kovacic are all going to miss Game Week 5. So that's good news if you've got Foden or Alvarez, or maybe both. They probably both start this game week, I would say. So that's good if you've got either of them. I think there was a bit of worry about their minutes this week. Last week was the ideal time to buy them, but their minutes look good this week as well. So if you've got Foden or Alvarez or both, they look good. No Grealish or Kovacic or Stones. There was rumours over the break about Saka and his Achilles, and Arteta was asked about that, and he said Saka's fine, he trained normally today, so there's nothing to report there. Every player has pains or issues, so it's nothing to worry about. So yeah, all good as far as Saka. Injury update on Botman. I think he missed the last match where he went off injured, but Botman's back in training. Tonali's a doubt with a minor thigh injury, but Botman's back. Did he go down last night? He was close to a drop. Is he still 4.5 or is he 4.4? If he dropped, that would be ideal, because then you've got Sheffield United and Burnley from Game Week 6. Jonathan's watching from Oktoberfest. Fair play, Jonathan. Which one? Are you in London or are you in Germany? Or somewhere else? Have a good time at Oktoberfest, wherever you are. Don't get too drunk. Liverpool update. Klopp said regarding Alexander-Arnold, he said it's not the worst injury, but he's barely healed in 2 weeks. We hope he can start ball work next week. So Trent's out for Game Week 5. Could be back Game Week 6. Oh, have I put the wrong tag on this? That's not meant to be Tottenham. I took this screenshot literally just before we went live. This is Brighton, not Tottenham. Basically, there's some comments from De Zerbi on Estepinian. And I thought I'd include this because he might be hinting at a benching for Estepinian. He might not be. He played in the international break, and it's a pretty tight turnaround for Estepinian. And I can't remember where he played now, but I think he travelled from quite far as well. And there were some comments here about Igor, who can play in left back. I mean, if you want to read this in full, just pause and rewind. But he basically hints that there is potential for Igor to play in left back. So I do wonder if he starts or not. What did he say down here? If Purvis travelled 12 hours and he played 180 minutes in the last week, we have to consider it. Yeah, so there's a few hints here. He didn't say he's not going to start, but it's something to just bear in mind, especially if you've got someone like Saliba, who you could potentially start instead. Something to think about there. And there was a quote here from Higginbottom on Sheffield United, and this again was one thing that nudged me in favour of bringing in Son. He talked about a few injuries. Achimodžić, I can't say his name. He said he never went on international duty because he had a problem, and he said he's the only one fit. Bulldog, Egan picked up an injury. Egan might be back, but there's a few injuries in the Sheffield United defence as well. Again, which points in the favour of Maddison and Son, and I guess Udogie and those guys. So in the end, it nudged me just about to bring in Son. So I've sold Fernandes, and Son is in. 1 free transfer. FPL Kieran says, hello from Greystones, Ireland. How are we doing, Kieran? In fact, that reminds me, if anyone lives in Ireland, there's an FPL meetup in Galway. Let me try and find it. At the end of this month. Yeah, here it is. If anyone lives in the area or fancies a little holiday, come to this. I'm going to be there. Focal on tour this season. I'm going to try and go around to as many FPL meetups as I can. So I'm catching a plane to Ireland for, is it Game Week 7, I think? So yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm going to be flying to Ireland, staying a couple of nights. I'll probably do a deadline stream in Ireland. So yeah, if anyone lives in Ireland and fancies it, it's in Galway. And that's the details there. FPL Air is the man on Twitter to tell if you want to come. but you'd probably be fine to just rock up. So I can't wait for that. Really excited. Nice little holiday in Ireland. Hang out with like-minded people, drink beer, watch the games. And obviously in Ireland, they get all the 3 o'clock games. Well, not all of them, but the 3 o'clock games are on TV there, unlike in England. So it's going to be a good day. You should come, Michael. Yeah, if anyone can make it, you should definitely come. But yeah, there's FPL meetups everywhere nowadays. And even if you don't know anyone there, I recommend it. Like, I went to my first one, I think it was last season, and I didn't know anyone. And my YouTube channel was like way smaller, and everyone's like really welcoming, really good time. Yeah, maybe Andy will be there. He lives in Ireland. I haven't asked him actually. Yeah, Trent's out this week. Trent's injured for Gameweek 5. Might be back Gameweek 6. Yeah, Galway like the song. Exactly. Odegaard looked insane for Norway, did he? I saw that Haaland scored as well for Norway, unsurprisingly. Yeah, you just get one of the 3 o'clock. One more than we get in England anyway. Right, Captain Paul. So 69% are on Haaland, 14% Son, 7% Salah, and 10% other. That's quite high. If you're in the 10%, let me know in chat who's your captain, if you voted other. Sell Trent for Trippier or Dogi. It's got to be Trippier. Like those long-term fixtures, it's got to be Trippier. What's the URL of your website? It should be in the description, or is it not? Oh, it's not. It's fpl.page. It's in the description of my videos, but I think on the live streams, it like reuses the last setup, and I forgot to update it. It's just fpl.page. Really simple URL. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what transfers FPL players are making this week. There's like a widget that tracks what real Premier League footballers are doing on FPL. Solomon's actually top right now. He's ranked 72k overall. Who else? McGinn's actually doing well. McGinn's got himself in his FPL team, and his best ever finish is 500k in like 10 years, and he always owns himself set and forget McGinn. But he's actually been doing alright this season. He scored in Gameweek 2. Like last season, he scored once all season. But yeah, McGinn's doing alright. He's 200k at the moment. Who else is doing alright? Trippier is 317k. James Justin's really good. He's got a top 10k finish. I found Chris Smalling's team the other day. He's in a mini league with his Roma teammates. Ben Foster, Fabian Schär. So yeah, that's on the website as well. A little widget that tracks all the Premier League players and what they do on FPL. Any Spurs or Man City team news? Yeah, so Man City, Grealish, Kovacic and Stones are all out. Spurs, I got a DM last night that said it's going to be an unchanged 11 for Tottenham. I can't tell you if it's reliable or not, but it came from an account with a pretty good following. They just DM'd me out of the blue and they said it's going to be the same 11 for Spurs. Postecoglou said Richarlison will be involved, and I think he'd probably come off the bench like last 20-30 minutes or so. But yeah, I can't tell you if it's reliable, but I got a DM yesterday that said exactly the same Spurs 11 unchanged. So Son and striker again, Solomon left wing, Kulusevski right wing, etc. How are you doing, Oscar? I'm very well. A bit tired this morning. I had a late one last night deciding about my transfers and so on. But yeah, I'm going into London straight after the stream for a mate's birthday, so I'm looking forward to today. But I'm not going to be able to watch any of the games, unfortunately. And there's some good games today. Tottenham at 3 o'clock, Man United at 3 o'clock. I've only got Rashford now, to be fair. Man City at 3 o'clock. I mean, they're all 3 o'clock games anyway. They're not even on TV here. Why Udogie over Romero? Udogie's way more attacking. He really he plays left back, but he pushes forward and like tucks inside. So he's often popping up in the edge of the box. creating chances, whereas Romero, he might get 1 goal a season. And he's a yellow card magnet. So yeah, Udogie and Porro, the best 2 Spurs defenders to own. I think Udogie's the cheapest between those. I'm not sure how much Romero is. He might be 5 mil, or he might be 4.5. But yeah, Udogie or Porro are the 2 to own. Wolves versus Liverpool prediction. I think Liverpool win that one pretty comfortably. I reckon it'll be like 3-0, 3-1, something like that. Right, let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 5, which is as follows. So they've got Leno in goal, Chilwell, Pedro Porro, Aurier, Son, Rashford, Diego Jota, Maddison, Sterling, Haaland captain and Watkins. How many do you guys have from the scout this week? Let me know in chat. How many have you got from the scout selection? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Harry's got 5 as well. Evan's got 4. OTGT's got 2. Bella's got 3. Jota's got 5. Noah's got 4. So's Matthew. Aurier's an interesting one. I tweeted actually last night about Awani. Annoyingly, he does have the Man City game in Game Week 6, but let me find this tweet. Burnley have been on the receiving end of 6 double-digit hauls, 2 more than any team. Awani hasn't blanked since Game Week 34 last season when he played 53 minutes. 9 goals and 1 assist since then. 5% ownership. I think he's an awesome differential. But yeah, you have to look at that fixture in Game Week 6 against City, which isn't ideal. But maybe he'll never blank again. Maybe he's going to score for the rest of his life if this streak continues. Aurier's flagged. Is he actually? Oh, Scout could be in the mud. No, I wouldn't bring in Awani from -4. I mean, if you're playing draft and no one's got Awani, pick him up 100%. I'm being tagged in a few Discord messages. If anyone's on Discord, tell them I can't reply now. Unless it's urgent. Captain Chilwell. That's a bold one. Kieran's friend, Captain Awani. Fair play. Maddison or Martinelli long term? Maddison. Any Liverpool team leaks? No, I don't think we've had anything. We might have something before the deadline actually, so stick around. There is a chance we'll get the lineup or at least a few players that start before the deadline, but I don't think anything this early. I'll keep an eye on it. No, nothing there. Does Foden start? I think he does, yeah, because Grealish is out, Kovacic is out. They've got a couple of players out this week, so I think Foden and Alvarez start. Maybe Doku starts again. Anish, thanks for becoming a fplfocal member. Thanks for that, Anish. Appreciate the support, mate. Appreciate that very much. If anyone wants to become a member to support the channel, it's only a couple of quid. And you get a little badge by your name in the live stream. In the comments, you get early access to videos. There's a little members only channel on Discord, and it supports the channel. So if you're interested, it's the join button below the stream or links in the description. Does Saliba start? Yeah, he'll definitely start. Botman playing? He probably does. He probably does play because he's back in training. I imagine he does, but Hal didn't say definitively, but he did say he's back in training. I took a screenshot. He is back in training, so I think there's a fair chance he starts. Captain Sterling or Jackson? I don't think I'd captain either of those. Obviously, they could do well this week. Obviously, they could, but I think there's 3 or 4 better captains than Jackson and Sterling. Haaland, Son, Salah, I'd put all of those ahead of those two. Estepinian or Botman? I'd say Botman just about. You heard Botman only started grass training on Wednesday. When do they play today? Or is it tomorrow? 5:30 today. I mean, that's still 3 days, isn't it? Cash or Vardiol to start? I'd go Cash. Annoyingly, because Diego Carlos got injured, it probably means Cash plays in right back. So probably Leon Bailey in right wing. Like last game week against Liverpool, we saw Cash in right wing, and Konsa started right back. But because Carlos is injured now, it means Cash likely moves into right back. Still a great option though, even in right back. Mohit, thanks for the super chat. Mitoma to Gordon or Barnes. Got no Newcastle players. I'm not sure I trust either of those for their, for their minutes long term. I mean, they're competing with one another really, so I don't know if that's an upgrade myself. I don't know if that's the move I would make. I don't think I'd sell Mitoma for either Gordon or Barnes. I know they got good fixtures, but it's really hard to predict like where the points are going to come from. The same with Isak. I'd make the same point with Isak. Like he's been starting, but he's been coming off early. So I don't think I would make that move myself. If I had to pick one, it'd be Barnes, but I wouldn't do that move. Why did you keep Rashford over Bruno? Yeah, it was really close to be fair. Rashford's playing on the left now. I think Holland's going to make his full debut for United today. So that's good for Rashford when he's playing down the left. And because there's no Sancho or Anthony, maybe we'll see Bruno playing down the right. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. Who do you guys actually think plays in right wing? Because we've got Anthony's got like these accusations about him. We've got Sancho who's like in the naughty corner and he's out of the team right now. So who's going to play right wing? Is it going to be Bruno or Pellistri or Rashford? Hopefully not Rashford. That'd be really bad. Garnacho, yeah, it could be Garnacho. But it could be Bruno. Like Bruno's played there before for United. So this is what I mean though. Like chat's quite divided. So I don't know if I want. And basically, what I didn't want to have double Man United and no Saka. I'd rather spread my risk and have Saka at one Arsenal, one Man United. So it had to be Bruno or Rashford. So that's why I sold Bruno. I don't feel super confident about the move, but Son should play striker again against Sheffield United. They're second worst in the league for expected goals conceded. They've got potentially a couple of defenders injured. And if he hauls this week, by the time his fixtures actually look good, he's going to be so much more highly owned. If you don't get, you don't have to get Son this week. You don't have to at all. That's the thing. With Sport for Choice this season, it's pretty hard to pick a bad midfield in FPL right now. So if you don't get Son now, it's fine to wait, and you just get him from Gameweek 8 or 9. And you do also have the benefit of waiting to see if he's still playing his striker or not. Richarlison could score off the bench against Sheffield United. He could start against Arsenal, for example. We don't actually know 100%. We've only got 1 week of information with Son's new position. So that's also the benefit of waiting until Gameweek 8. You can wait and see if the Son situation is still the same. He will have played a couple of tougher fixtures, and then it's Luton away, Fulham home, Crystal Palace away. These two fixtures in particular. But I've gone for it early. I'm not going to captain him. I do think he's a very good captain. And then when those fixtures turn, Arsenal have Man City. So I'll probably go Saka to Maddison that game week there. Because it's City and then Chelsea. I suppose Chelsea's not bad. City, hard one to call. But I think it makes sense to go Saka to Maddison there. Brian says, my dog is snoring. Can you tell her to stop, Coco? Coco, wake up. Stop snoring. Teddy's under my duvet right now still. He's not woken up yet. He's such a teenager. He literally loves a lion. My dog wakes up at like 11 AM. Start Isak or rescue. Isak. Saka captain. Let's look at the projected points this week. I think there's quite a few I'd put ahead of Saka. So FPL Review's got Son top 7.1, Salah second 6.9, Maddison 6.4, tied of Haaland, and then Saka, Ødegaard, Rashford, Bruno, Gibbs, White, Watkins, Jackson, Sterling, and Trippier. Anyone got Trippier? It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he's got 5 points so far, which is the same as Pickford. I think Pickford's on 5 points as well for the season, which is awful. Like, we've been hating on Pickford for his 5 points. Like, Trippier's on the same for 6.5 mil. But we know Trippier can be an absolutely elite FPL asset, as he showed us last season, and the fixtures are turning. So I don't hate the Trippier pick this week. If not this week, then game week 6, because I think they've got Sheffield United and then Burnley back to back, I think. So I can't afford Trippier next week because I've done this Sun move. But I'm looking at going Shaw to Share. Morning, Delia. How we doing? Slaughter in the chat says, here comes the sun. I hope so. Zip asks, what's the latest on Botman? He's back in training. That's about all we know. House said he's back in training. So, yeah, he has a chance of starting this game week. Thanks for the super chat, Kodaks. Appreciate that. Michael asks, Foden to Saka from -4. Gaming 8 switch to Maddison. No, not for a -4. I wouldn't do that. Not for a -4. Saka's not great on the road either. He's unbelievable at home, but on the road, not so much. So I'm not even sure that's an upgrade, let alone for a -4. And Foden looks good for this week because Grealish is out, Kovacic is out. So I think Foden looks fine to start. So does Alvarez. Gray says, watching live from Dubai poolside, loving the channel. Poolside. Oh, I'm jealous. The weather's turning miserable here in England. Tag me in a photo, guys, wherever you're tuned in from. Take a photo of the stream, wherever you're watching from, and I'll retweet it. Tag me on Twitter. Diaz starting. I mean, the Liverpool front three is so hard to call, isn't it? Like, Diaz has been unbelievable. I assume he went on international duty. He played on Wednesday away to Chile. Did he start? Yeah, he did. Oh, it's really hard to say. What time did that kick off? Because there is a chance these players that went on international duty to South America might get a rest. So, like Estepinian, Luis Diaz, those sorts of guys. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, it might be Darwin and Jota, for example. Brand says, trust me, Klopp's going to start Jota, Gakpo, Salah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. He'll be in the squad, 100%, but it's whether he starts or not. Evan says, what transfers have you made? I've sold Fernandes for Son. Albin says, Captain Watkins as a differential or safe with Maddison. I prefer Maddison out of those two. I wouldn't go differential just for the sake of it. And to be fair, like Maddison captain's already differential. He's probably going to be like 3rd or 4th most popular captain, so it's already differential. And he's above Watkins on the projections as well. Where's that? There. He's 3rd this week, actually. So it's Son, Salah, Maddison, joint of Haaland, 6.4 points on FPL Review. So, yeah, Maddison. Watkins is down there, 4.9. Right, we've got 1 hour till the deadline. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it. Subscribe to the channel. I do these deadline streams every game week. So if you want to catch these and my videos every week, then hit subscribe. We're going to play a little game now. Well done to anyone who got Son last game week in our Kings of the Gameweek game. Guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Gameweek 5? Get your guesses in. Looking for the top scorer of Gameweek 5. A few of you got Son last week. North Bank Gooner. How could you pick Son being a Gooner? You have to put club bias aside in FPL. You have to. If you start getting biased, it probably will do you no good at all in FPL. Like, it feels dirty, but if Haaland's playing against Arsenal, and I think he's the best captain, I'll captain him. In fact, you know what I've just realised? I'm going to watch Arsenal v Man City in a few weeks. Am I going to captain Haaland against my own team while I'm there? I haven't actually thought about that. That's going to be a massive conflict of interest. Would you guys do that if you were at the game? You're watching your own team and Haaland's playing against your own team. Would you captain him? Right, Kings of the Game at guesses. So, Martinelli, Cash, not Salad Fingers, Pickford, Holland, Maddison, Salah, Son, Isak. Jota says, Alvarez, hear me out. I'll hear that out. Delia says, hope it's Maddison since I captained him. Gakpo. Oh. Sterling and Bumo. Awani. I love the Awani shout. Yeah, Leno's a good pick this week in terms of transfers. Yeah, so back to my question. I'm going to watch Arsenal versus Man City. We're playing home against them in a few weeks. Would you captain Haaland against your own team if you're there at the game? I think I have to put the bias aside, but that's going to be awful. Yeah, that's just occurred to me. That's going to be awful, that. I haven't actually looked at the other fixtures, though. Can I go Son? I could go Son. He's got Luton, actually. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one more nearer the time. Haaland's got Arsenal. Son's got Luton. Maybe I can go captain Son versus Luton, depending on how the next 3 game weeks go. Materazzi says, you won't captain Haaland against your own team, otherwise you cannot enjoy. Zane says, I would. It's kind of a win either way. Yeah, that's true. It's a win-win, I suppose. I mean, you know, if Haaland gets a hat-trick against Arsenal, it's still a loss, really. I'd rather Haaland blanks and Arsenal win against City. But yeah, I guess it's a win-win. What would you guys rather? You win FPL this season, or your team wins the Premier League? Or whatever league you support. Whatever team you support, the league they're in. What would you rather? Win FPL or your team wins the league that they're in? Let's do a poll on that. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Get your votes on that. Win League 2. What sort of question is that? Well, let's see what the results say. I think you'll be surprised. Win FPL, win FPL. Win the Premier League. Win FPL, says Cameron. Jota says win the league. Oliver says win FPL because that's so difficult. Alexander says Henry or Saliba to Udogie or roll. I don't think I'd sell Henry. I like Saliba to Udogie. Yeah, I like that. I think I probably would do that, yeah. Saliba to Udogie. I'd keep Henry. He's got Everton home, game week 6, Forest home. Juice Wild says there's selfish people in the comments. Sam Lewis says you cannot be serious choosing FPL over a league. Lewis Klein says Foden, Sterling, Saka or Bruno to Maddison or Son. So I've sold Bruno to Son myself. So if out of any of those, Bruno. But I have Rashford as well, so I didn't want to go double up, basically. Yeah, I don't mind Bruno to Son. It's a little bit risky. Like, there's definitely potential for Bruno to outscore Son over the next 3. But yeah, if you want to get either of those, I would say Son, 100%. And if I was going to sell any of those, it'd be Bruno. So yeah, if you want Son, then Bruno out. See, look at the results here. This is crazy. It's so close. 52% would rather win FPL. 48% would rather win the league. I mean, if I won FPL, it'd set me for life, but I'd rather Arsenal won the league. And I think that's the unselfish answer because of, you know, how much it would benefit not just the team, but like, I guess employees. I suppose it would trickle down a bit. Guess it would create some jobs. I don't know. I think it would benefit the community, wouldn't it, in general? So I'd say Arsenal win the league for sure. What's your thoughts on Raul Jimenez? Nah, not tempted. It's a shame. Ever since that head injury, he's not looked the same player. He probably starts, and I know they've got Luton at home, but I don't think I would. I don't think I'd go for Jimenez, which is a shame because yeah, he was quality those first 2 seasons. I remember the first season he was 5.5 mil, and he got like 190 points or something. Interesting poll results there. Fantasy Football Chronicles says no emotions in FPL. Yeah, I agree. Like come game week, is it game week 8 or 9? Game week 8. If I think Haaland's the best option, I will captain him against Arsenal, even though I'm an Arsenal fan and I'll be at the game. But I won't feel proud of it if he does well. You know, it feels dirty points. But yeah, you have to put your bias aside. Marcus says, does Son's next 2 fixtures not make you worried? You mean after Sheffield United? This week, great fixture. Yeah, I agree. Those 2 are a bit iffy. But if he carries on playing as a striker, that's massive. He's not looked as good left wing. In striker, it's like we know what he's capable of. Like, look at his track record. Ignore last season because that was an off season for him. He supposedly had an injury last season, all season, and he had surgery, I think. Golden Boot, 21-22 season, 258, 228, 169, 178. I just think if he's playing striker for such an attacking team in Spurs, one of the most attacking teams in the league, out of position, it's hard to resist him. And against Arsenal, Liverpool, I don't know, the North London derby, there's always lots of goals. Liverpool look like conceding. You know, if they play a high line, there's going to be loads of room for him to make those runs in behind. I don't think they're necessarily bad fixtures, these 2. James from Tong says, should I sell Diaby for Maddison? I don't know if I would do that one. I feel like Diaby's a good pick long term. Like Villa's fixtures are great for the foreseeable, and he's playing well. They've got Palace this week, Chelsea, Brighton, Wolves, West Ham, Luton, Forest. I don't think I'd do that. Like, if he'd not done anything so far this season, then yeah, but he's not done anything to like make you want to sell him. Don't think I would do that one. Penny says, Vardiol or Estepinian? That's close. We just don't know if Vardiol starts. If he does, then he's the one. I think I'd go Vardiol just about. I'm not sure if I think Estepinian's likely to be benched basically between the 2 because of the international duty and De Zerbi's comments. Daniel says Son instead of 1 Rashford, 2 Bruno and Alvarez for Jackson, 3 Saka and Alvarez for Jackson, 4 roll the transfers, option 2 or 3 also -4. I think I'd roll. I think I'd roll. I'd want to keep Rashford. He should be playing down the left again with Haaland making his full debut, I expect today. So I don't think I'd want to sell Rashford. If you're absolutely set on Son, then it'd be option 1. I wouldn't take a -4. So roll the transfer. Stones is out. I like Vardiol's chances. Yeah, still not guaranteed though. Like, he was benched last game, wasn't he? João Pedro to Morris for -4. Definitely not for a -4. Are you guys looking at the double game week in 7 at all? And if so, how many players are you thinking of getting for that? So, game week 7, let's go to there. Burnley have got Newcastle away, Luton home. And Luton have... What order is this in? What the hell? Luton have got Everton away, Burnley home. Let's do a poll. How many double game week 7 players will you have? 0, 1, 2, 3 or more. I'm still not sure if I'll have any. If I have any, it'd probably be Morris, because it's a nice double for Luton. Everton home, Burnley away. But Foster's got 2 goals and 2, and he's only 5 mil. But he does have Newcastle away, so I'd be amazed if he gets anything there. Any leaks? Nothing yet. I'll keep an eye on it in case anything comes through, but nothing. We might get the Liverpool lineup, something like that, but I don't think there's going to be any surprises. We know Trent's out. I suppose some of you have got like Diaz, and you might be wondering whether Darwin starts. Kelzang says Darwin, Gibbs, White, or 2 Awani and Diaby on a wild card. I'd say option 2. Yeah, I'm still not sure on Darwin. I still think he's too much of a rotation risk. It's just chaos when he starts. He's chaos. Like, he should have had way more last game week. He robbed Salah of about 3 assists. But yeah, I'm not sold on Darwin yet. So I'd say option 2. Yeah, option 2. I took a screenshot for a video yesterday, and I'm just going to pull this up because I wanted to basically make the point that this early the ranks are still super condensed, and there's a lot of chips used already in the higher ranks. Like, some people have already used 3 chips, while a lot of us haven't even used 1 yet. How many points are you guys on so far? How many total points have you got? Because what you can do, you just look at this graphic. While I'm looking at my phone, it's literally on the stream. I'm on 253, so I look at this, and I think I'm 10 points off being 400k, for example. You can make that up easily in 1 game week. So the ranks are like so condensed this early that don't worry about your rank at this point. It's still really condensed, and as the season progresses, things will spread out. But I wouldn't start to worry about your rank until like halfway through the season, game week 19-ish. 300 points already. That's crazy. 276. Slaughter John and Turge all messaging at the same time, 276. And HVS. Are you guys all copying each other or something? So 276. You're just outside top 100k. Fair play. That's really good this early. 295. Hang on. So 300. So that's top 10k. Now, my wildcard's not active. I'll probably use it around game week 8, 9 or 10. 247, 242, 285, 299. Bench boost this game week. I mean, if you've got a really strong bench, consider it, but otherwise, no. 92 points. I'm guessing you started after the season started. My girlfriend's made an FPL team, but she started in game week 2. 360? Yeah, right. You rank 1. Love from Indonesia. Oh yeah, have you guys seen this? You guys seen the bots like in the overall ranks? I mean, it's not 100% bots, but it's something really interesting going on here. In the top 100, something like 40 of them are from Indonesia, and most of them are in a mini league together. So people are speculating that someone's managed to make an FPL bot to basically, you know, brute force their way into rank 1. Like Indonesian. There are some really top Indonesian managers, don't get me wrong, but it's very suspicious what's going on in the top 100. If you go through these teams, there's loads from Indonesia, whereas last season it was like, can't remember the percent now. I don't want to say the wrong number, but it was a really small percent was Indonesian. But right now it's something like 30 to 40% in the top 100. So yeah, very suspicious. This guy, I feel sorry for this guy, by the way. He was ranked 5, and the 4 teams above him were Indonesian, and all in this mini league together. So that guy potentially was robbed of his moment in the spotlight at rank 1, and he changed his team name to ban FPL bots. Jones from Tong says, I want a Spurs player. Who do I sell out of Saka, Rashford, Foden, Mbeumo and Diaby? Out of all of those, probably Saka. Just about Saka. Because his away record's pretty poor. Arsenal's record against Everton in general is poor. I think they've only won like 1 of their last 10 or so. But I do think Tottenham's a good fixture in Gameweek 6. Bournemouth's good as well, obviously. Out of all of those, I'd say Saka. Morning, David. He says, morning, everyone. May Son have another 20-point haul. I hope so. I hope so. Did he get 20? Yeah, he did. Bloody hell. Right, how many double Gameweek 7 players will you have? 55% none, 32% 1, 10% 2, and 3% are going to have 3 or more. Interesting. Michael says, agree, Saka away, not great. Foden out of position, left wing, not great. No, I think Foden's okay left wing. Wasn't it Doku that played there, or not? I can't remember how they lined up last match now. Was it Foden left wing, or was it Doku? But yeah, I think very close, but Saka if I had to pick one. But yeah, in my case, I had double Man United mids. And obviously Man United just in disarray right now. So I felt like if I was going to get rid of a midfielder, I'd rather have one Arsenal, one Man United. So I've got a really nice spread midfield now. Brentford, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United. Why is it suspicious that there's a lot of high-ranked Indonesian players? Basically, there's a massive percent in the top 100, way higher than we've ever seen. Like last season, it was something like 1 or 2% in the top 10k were Indonesian, but right now there's like 30 or 40 in the top 100, and pretty much all of them are in a mini league together, which is also suspicious. Like, why are they all in a mini league together? And this is the mini league here, Watampone. And someone looked it up, and Watampone is like a small village in Indonesia, which is also very odd. So I mean, they might not be bots, but it's very odd that they're in this mini league together. They've all used their chips already to brute force away into the top 100. It's just very odd. It's very unusual. And it's like a much higher percentage of Indonesian teams than normal. Like 30 of the top 100. That's crazy high. But maybe they're just the GOAT of FPL villages. Appanator says they're just so good at FPL, the FPL village. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's just genuine, but it is a bit odd. It looks suspicious at a glance. And yeah, there was about 1,400 teams in this mini league as well. That's crazy. 1,400 teams in this Watampone league. So maybe someone's found a way to automate FPL accounts or something. Maybe they've got artificial intelligence making all these transfers by themselves and doing slightly different things from one another. Slaughter says maybe they're all goats actually. That's possible as well. Yeah, crazy coincidence if it is a coincidence. But yeah, it could be the GOAT FPL village. Right. Can you guys guess who the most transferred in player is this week? I think it's an easy one actually. I haven't looked, but now I say it, I think it's pretty obvious who it's going to be. Most transferred in player this week. The village of FPL goats. Let's have a look who it actually is. It is... yeah, it is Son. It's close actually. Maddison's second. 833,000 transfers in for Son. 772k for Madison, Alvarez, Romero. I can't believe Romero's got more transfers in than Udogie, and they're the same price. Romero's centre back, guys. If you're looking at Spurs defender, it's got to be Udogie or Porro, not Romero. He's normally a yellow card magnet. Don't expect his points to continue that he's put up so far. Cash, Ferguson. I guess he got the hat trick, didn't he? Darwin, Mbumo, Awani, Gusto. Alright, can you guess the most transferred out player then? Most transferred out player this game week. Guesses in the chat. Casuals look at the Romero goals. Yeah, it's not sustainable. Udogie's the one. Really attack him. Pops up in good areas. When you look at his heat map, he's like right inside on the edge of the box, on average. Jackson, Shaw, Sterling. I actually don't know who it is. Let's see. Most transferred out player. Oh, it is Jackson. 425,000 transfers out. I don't know about selling Jackson. Oh, he's gone down as well. Wasn't he 7.2? João Pedro, Isaac, Visser, Botman. Oh, Botman didn't go down. He must be close. What percent is he at right now? Minus 99.4. That'd be nice if he drops, for those that don't own him, because that's a 4.4 mil route into the Newcastle defence. Isaac, Visser. Rashford. Shaw is fine, like he's out injured, but... Whew. Matoma to Son. Yeah, I like that move. That's a good move. Why have people removed Isaac? I guess it's like his minutes concern, isn't it? He's been coming off really early every game for Wilson. And Wilson could start at any point. I'm not sure how Newcastle are going to tackle this Champions League starting up. And they've got a brutal group. Have you guys seen Newcastle's Champions League group? Who have they got again? AC Milan. Who's in their group again? I remember they had the group of death, but I can't remember who's in it. Morning, Andre. How we doing, mate? Good to see you. Salah captain. Yeah, I think Salah's absolutely fine for captaincy. Top three is obviously Salah, Son and Haaland. Group of death. Dortmund and PSG. That was it. Thanks, José. AC Milan, Dortmund and PSG. That is a brutal group. Like, welcome to the Champions League. Do they make it out of the group? Bench Watkins or Ferguson? Ferguson. A lot of sell Jackson for Alvarez. Yeah, that makes sense. I think on a wild card I would have Alvarez, so I'd sell Jackson for Alvarez if I was on a wild card. But I don't know. Look at the next four, and Jackson's underlying numbers are good. I wonder if I can pull up the data from Scout. This is the underlying data of the forwards so far from Fantasy Football Scout. If you guys want to become a member, use the link below. They're doing a discount at the moment as well. There's loads of stuff here you get in the members area. And my stats tables I made public, so if you go to public stats tables and then just search fplfocal, you'll see my tables here. Like that. So these are my stats tables that are public here. So you can go into like forwards and have a look at the actual underlying data. And look, expected goal involvement among forwards. Jackson's second, 3.39 XGI. Edouard's flying under the radar, 2.52. Ferguson, Visser, Alvarez. So can Jackson deliver on these good numbers or not? I hope so. Last game it was so frustrating. Especially if you had Sterling as well, like me. So yeah, if you want to become a Scout member, use the link in the description. I think he had 0.92 XGI or something last match and he blanked. So I look at the next four and they're still pretty good fixtures. So I think I'll keep him. I guess game week 7's a decision, isn't it? They're away to Fulham. So do you sell him for Morris, who's got the double, or not? Lewis Holden, what did you do? I've sold Fernandes for Son. John says, poll idea, what continent is everyone from? Alright, let's do that. What continent are you from? But how are we going to fit them all in? We're going to have to chuck a couple together, aren't we? North America, Europe, Africa. Should we just group North and South America? But then I haven't got Antarctica. What if anyone's from Antarctica? Asia, Oceania. I guess I'll do it like that. Sorry if anyone's from Antarctica. FPL Juice says we're with you live, Oscar. You joined at the complete wrong time. I've just run a poll on what continent everyone's from. We've gone off topic. Yeah, we're just doing a poll to see where everyone's from. But yeah, I hope the Juice stream's going well. If you guys aren't aware, they've got this new idea on the Juice show where they're kind of like covering other deadline streams and hopping in to see what they're talking about. And they've come in here right when we've just stopped talking about FPL. America is asleep. Yeah, that's true. 2% for North or South America. Yeah, I guess it's like 2 AM there. Yeah, if you guys want to check out FPL Juice, head over to their stream as well. Send them my love. Really, really good channel. Really original content. Watching from South Africa. Africa, Europe, Norway. Alright, 53% Europe, 21% Africa, 24% Asia, 2% North America. Interesting. Cork, Ireland. If you're from Ireland, come to the FPL meetup. I don't know if I've still got it here or not. No, I don't. There's an FPL meetup in Galway, 30th September. I'm flying over for it. Blackpool. I love how it's like, I'm from Dubai, Nepal, Tibet, and then it's just like Blackpool. Connor says, tempted to start Cash over Mbumo. Thoughts? I don't think you can bench Mbumo on current form. You can't bench Mbumo. It's not like Newcastle have been as rock solid as last season as well. Like, I know Cash is home to Palace, but you can't bench him. 4 goals in 4. I don't think you can bench Mbumo on current form. It was such a quality goal as well against Bournemouth. Did you guys see it? Took the ball on the spin, turned his man, 1-on-1, buried. Son or Haaland captain? It depends on what kind of FPL manager you are. Like this week, I'd say Son, Salah, Haaland are the best 3. I've got a graphic here basically comparing the 3 on different metrics like XG, XA, shots, opponent strength. So Haaland obviously leads on expected goals. Touches in the box, Son leads. Shots, Haaland leads. Opponent strength, Son massively ahead. Sheffield United home. Salah's second for opponent strength for the Wolves game. And Haaland's third. So in terms of opponent strength, it definitely favours Son. But I think it really depends what kind of manager you are. Like if you're an upside chaser and you're looking for the big rank swings, then it's got to be Son or Salah. And if Haaland blanks and Son or Salah smash it for you as captain, you'll fly up the ranks. But obviously the caveat is it can go the opposite way. If you captain Son and he takes 3 shots against Sheffield, none go in, or Richarlison comes on, he pushes to the left, doesn't get anything, and Haaland hauls, then that's going to be brutal for your rank. So it really depends what kind of FPL manager you are. They're all very good this week. You can't go wrong. We'll do an updated captain poll now and see how you guys are leaning as the deadline nears. We've got about 30 minutes till the deadline, so let's have a look at the updated captain poll. Final captain poll. Son, Salah, Haaland, and other. And if you vote other, let us know in chat who you voted for. Boom. Get your votes in on that poll. And keep your questions coming in. If you've enjoyed the stream so far, hit like on it. We've got about 432 likes. Yeah, and if you're enjoying the stream, hit subscribe. I do these every deadline and FPL content during the week. Just checking if there's any leaks or anything. Don't think we've got anything. Doesn't look like it. Right, so Chilwell captain, interesting. David's on Maguire captain. R. Kelly, Beto. Beto captain? Maddison captain. Yeah, that's true. I suppose he'll be represented in the other, probably more than anyone else. Adogi. Captain Adogi from Adulla. Saka captain. Matty Cash. Archer. Rasmus Holland captain. I'm looking forward to seeing how he looks, actually. Like, imagine if he has a great game today. Then they've got Burnley, Gameweek 6, Palace. It'll be tempting to sell Jackson, won't it? John's on captain Maddison. Shout out to John, by the way. He used his triple captain on Haaland last week. And he asked me about it, actually. And I'll be honest, I said I probably wouldn't use it on Haaland in a single game week. Because obviously the logic is in a double game week, you've got like 2 attempts at a haul. So I'll always use my triple captain in a double. Same with free hit. I'll use that. I'll always use that in a double or a blank game week. Bench boost, not necessarily, but generally doubles. But John used his triple captain on Haaland last week. 60 points. Absolute dreamland with that. Why'd you buy Son? Playing in striker, home to Sheffield United. Sheffield United missing 1 or 2 players. What's not to love? Gabriel or Estepinian. I've got both and I've started Gabriel. Pau Torres or Saliba? Saliba. Bring in Saliba, Cash or Gabriel? Cash. Is Botman still injured? No, Botman's back in training this week, so he has a good chance of starting. Foden update. No update. He trained this week. He should start because Grealish and Kovacic are both out, so I expect he'll start, and Alvaro should as well. So if you've got both of those, you're looking good. Morris or Bell for double game week 7. Oh, it's got to be Morris. You've got to favour the attacker there. The talisman. He's on penalties. Like, realistically, what are you hoping for with Bell? Like, are they going to keep back-to-back clean sheets? That's about as good as you can hope for. Udogie or Botman? Udogie, 100%. Man City versus West Ham predictions. I don't think they'll batter West Ham. I do think they'll win. I'd say 2 or 3-0. Let's do a few predictions while we're here. Liverpool versus Wolves. What do you guys think the score's going to be? Liverpool versus Wolves. I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool. Pat Key says -4 for Alvarez, Morris or who? Foden to Son. -4 Vista to Alvarez, Morris or who? Not for a -4. I don't think I'd do that. If it had to be one of those, Alvarez. Foden to Son. I like that more. I would do Foden to Son if either of those, but I wouldn't sell Vista for Alvarez. I don't think. No. Foden to Son. I think Vista's fine to keep hold of him. His next 3 are pretty good. Newcastle away, not great, obviously, but I think Vista and Alvarez probably score similarly over the next 3. Rahul says, online from the US, 2:33 AM. Fair play, Rahul. 2-0 Liverpool, 3-1 Liverpool, 3-1 Liverpool, 4-1, 5-1. Yeah, I think it's going to be a Liverpool win. I think they'll win quite comfortably. All right, what about Man United versus Brighton? Yeah, that's going to be a good game, I think. Man United v Brighton. I think both teams score, if I'm honest. I reckon that could be like a 2-all. I'm expecting quite a few goals in that. Obviously, Brighton have been leaky this season because they've lost Caicedo and McAllister. Their defensive numbers have been poor so far. And so have United, and obviously they've got some players out as well. No Shaw. Could be Dallo and left back. So I think that's going to be a both team score type fixture. What do you think? Man United versus Brighton. 4-1 United. 4-all. If it's 4-all, I might be in trouble because I've sold Fernandes. You often have lower scoring matches after international breaks. Whether that's what we see this game week, we'll see. Ansu Fati masterclass. Yeah, De Zerbi did say actually he's ready to play. He also said I'm not sure if I want to throw him straight in. So I think Fati comes off the bench. No leaks at the moment. I'll keep an eye in case there's anything before the deadline. If we get anything, it's probably going to just be Liverpool. But maybe we'll get something for Man City because they're at 3 o'clock. So yeah, if there's any leaks or anything like that, I'll let you guys know as soon as we hear anything. But nothing so far. I'll do, since there's lots more tuned in now, I'll do the news roundup one last time from yesterday's press conferences and just run through all the key stuff. Right, what about Spurs v Sheffield United? Scoreline predictions. Also at 3 o'clock. The 3 o'clock games today are so good. We've got Man United v Brighton. We've got Spurs v Sheffield United. Man City versus West Ham. All at 3 o'clock. And if you've got like Watkins or Diaby, that's also at 3 o'clock. 21-0. 0-0. I swear if it's 0-0. 4-0. 3-0. 4-1, 3-0, 2-1 to Sheffield United. Bluebird Legends reckons 3-0, Blades will not score. Vardiel replacement. Cash, I think it's probably a good one, and Udogie. Those would be my top two. Share, I think those are the top 3. Share, Cash, and Udogie. Any of those are all good. Just if you get a Udogie, make sure you got someone you can play Gameweek 6 and 7. Share's the one that you can just set and forget start. And Cash as well, I suppose. But Share's got the best fixtures of the 3. Udogie and Cash, the more attacking. 5-0, 7-2, 2-0 Madison Brace. Alright, last one. Man City versus West Ham. Scoreline predictions. What do you think the score will be? James Ward-Prowse supremacy. Oh yeah, what was the Southampton versus Leicester result last night? I shouldn't have asked that because everyone's doing predictions. I'll tell you what it was. Championship. Oh wow, 4-1 to Leicester. Battle of the relegated last season. Vardy scored in the first minute. That's a throwback. At least it didn't end 9-0. 4-1 win for Leicester. Away to Southampton. Interesting. What's the table looking like? Leicester are top. Southampton are in 7th. Watford 18th. I hate to see Watford so low. I live right by Watford. They're kind of like my second team. When they were in the Prem, I used to always go to Arsenal v Watford. 2-1 to City. 2-all. 3-1 to City. 4-0, 2-1. James Ward-Prowse masterclass. Yeah, it's still early in the championship. That's true, but Watford have got a long way ahead now to recover from where they are. FPL Mayor says Jota is starting. What should I do with Darwin? Did he say Darwin doesn't? Alright, so yeah, let's run through the news and stuff that we've learned in the recent hours. So, Man City first. Pep confirms that there's no Grealish, Stones or Kovacic. They're all going to miss Gameweek 5. Obviously, De Bruyne's still out as well. So, if you've got Foden or Alvarez, they both look good this week. Arteta on Saka's rumoured injury. There was rumours about his Achilles. He said he's fine. He trained normally today, so there's nothing to report there. Every player's got pains or issues. So, nothing to worry about as far as Saka. Botman's back in training for Newcastle. So, he could be in line for a start again after picking up that injury before the break. Liverpool News, Klopp says with Trent it's not the worst injury, but he's barely healed in the 2 weeks since that fixture before the break. He's going to miss Gameweek 5 and hopefully he'll be back for Gameweek 6. So no Trent. I've clicked the wrong one again. And this was what nudged me towards Son, really. There was a few comments about Sheffield United players. Hakimir Hodzic never went on international break. And he said he's the only one who's fit here. Baldock, Asula and Egan picked up an injury. So everyone who went away picked up an injury except Davies. So a few players potentially out for Sheffield United. I did see Egan in their training photos though, but no Baldock. But yeah, they could be without Baldock. Can't remember if there's any other news I missed, but yeah, those are the highlights. And as I say, if there's any last minute leaks or news or anything like that, I'll let you know. Keep your questions coming. If you've enjoyed the stream, we've got 20 minutes to the deadline, so hit like if you want to support the stream and say thanks for the stream, or dislike it if you want to say the stream was garbage, that's fine as well. And if you really enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. I do these every game week and make FPL videos. Richarlison starts. I'd be surprised. Actually, yeah, that's something I didn't mention. I got a DM last night from someone who said it's going to be the same Spurs lineup. I can't tell you if it's reliable though, but they've got a pretty decent sized following, over 20,000 followers. So I'd be surprised if they DM me that and it was BS. So I think it sounds like Son's going to be playing striker again. So Solomon left wing, Kulusevski right wing. Big man with the dislike. Fair play. Holland for Pedro. It's a bit early, isn't it, to go for Holland? I think we need to see a bit more from him. You know, he's came off the bench and that's it so far. He should start today. I'm expecting him to start, but it's a bit of an early one, isn't it? Jimenez has 3 goals in international break. Is he a differential? He's definitely differential, but I wouldn't go there myself. If you want a differential striker, I think Awani. He hasn't blanked since Gameweek 34 last season. And he's got Burnley at home. Burnley have been on the receiving end of 6 double-digit hauls this season alone, which is 2 more than any team. So, if you want a differential striker, Awani is like 5% owned. Albin says, going nuts and bringing in Origi for Watkins. Don't do that. Origi. Don't bring in Origi for Watkins. That is nuts. That's just throwing for the sake of throwing. Is Origi even going to start? It'll be Awani, won't it, who starts? Yeah, he didn't even come off the bench last match. I don't know if he was even in the squad. Højlund. Is it Højlund? I thought it was Holland. Højlund. My bad. Is Haaland starting? There's rumours. I mean, we haven't had a leak, but I'm expecting he starts, yeah. Foden and Alvaro should start as well. But yeah, other than that, we've not had much in the way of leaks. If we get anything, then I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I'm expecting Haaland to start, yeah. I'd be very confident in that. Jackson, our differential. What's his ownership like? 17. Yeah, still fairly low. What would you guys say differential is? I've always thought differential would be like under 10%. How many differentials do you guys actually have in your team? Because I'm pretty template when I look at this. Maybe Udogie. He's 16% now. That's crazy. I swear he was like 1% Game Week 1 when I had him. Is it Turner? No, I've got no one under 10%, I don't think. Son's definitely not. I haven't got any differentials. Less than 20%. Under 15. 15% in the top 100k for you, Slaughter. Yeah, I guess under 15 is differential. Differential is low-owned player. Someone who's like got low ownership. Like, we're talking about Awani earlier. He hasn't blanked since Game Week 34 last season. So let's say you brought in Awani and he gets a hat-trick against Burnley this game week. because he's in so few teams, that means you gain points on the vast majority of the player base. Whereas with someone like Haaland, 92% owned, that means you're only gaining points on like 8% or so of managers. But it's a bit more complicated than that because of captaincy as well. Effective ownership. So that's why people like differentials. But yeah, you have to be careful not to just pick a differential for the sake of it. Open leaks. Oh, if anyone's not in the Discord server, there's a new channel called Leaks, and we've got like a whole team now that share leaks in there. What have I done here? Oh, whoops. Sorry, Bala. Try now. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord server, I'll chuck a link in the chat. We've got like, I think like 13,000 FPL managers, so if you want to join the Discord, that's the link. And we've got a new channel called Leaks, where there's a whole team of people that share leaks from whatever sources in there. So yeah, if you want to join, it's completely free. There's loads of useful channels. Sub Saka for Mbumo. No, I wouldn't do that, John. I'd start Saka between the two, but if you mean a transfer, I definitely wouldn't either. John says 15 minutes to go. We've got 15 minutes to the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. Been a good stream so far. I was so tired this morning. I didn't go to bed till like 1:30. But I've had 2 teas this morning, so feeling good now. Will Alvaro start? I'm expecting him to start, yeah. Foden should start. Alvaro should start. Haaland should start. It's just the defenders, I think, that are a question mark. I think most of it's going to be predictable. Because Grealish is out. Kovacic is out. It's just a defence. Like, does Vardy start? If I had him, I'd be tempted to sell for a Dogi, Cash, or Share. One of those. Sell a Nana. If you've got 2 transfers, then I'd consider it. And the rest of your team in good shape. But it's a bit of a luxury transfer, selling a goalkeeper. Gabriel start. I think he does. They're going to need his physical presence against a team like Everton. Glorified rugby team. Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin's back as well. So I think they're going to need Gabriel's physical presence. So I'm expecting him to start. That's why I've started him anyway. And benched Estepinian. There was the quote as well, in case anyone missed it. There was a quote from De Zerbi on Estepinian, and he basically was talking about the international break, because I think he played in Chile or something like that. No, where did he play? I forget now. But he was in international duty and he got back late, and he hinted that Igor can play. He mentioned like he's a centre back, but he can play in left back. There was another quote here. If Purvis travelled 12 hours and he played 180 minutes in the last week, we have to consider it. So there's a few hints dropped here about Estepinian. So I just wonder whether he does start or he's benched and comes off the bench. But it's something to think about if you've got him. Especially if you've got another defender that you might be able to start ahead of him. So, yeah, that's what nudged me in favour of starting Gabriel over Estepinian. Or Estupinan. It's just a good week to punt Captain Maddison. It's a great week to punt on Captain Maddison, yeah. Oh yeah, Captain Poll. So 65% Haaland, 20% Son, 8% Salah, and 7% other. Interesting. Got another poll for you guys. How many transfers are you making? 0, 1, 2, or 3 or more? Get your votes in on that one. I'll keep refreshing in case there's any last minute leaks or anything in the next 10 or so minutes. It's probably Liverpool if we get anything. Let me just check one that I saw in chat earlier. What was it? No, nothing there. Jota starts. Where's that one come from? I haven't seen that. I saw that in chat earlier, but I don't know where it actually came from. Will Son play number 9? Yeah, I'm expecting him to play number 9 again. So in case anyone missed it, that was my transfer this week. I sold Bruno reluctantly for Son. I just thought, if I'm going to sell someone for Son, I'd rather a Man United mid. Because otherwise I'd have 2 Man United, no Arsenal. I'd rather have 1 Arsenal, 1 Man United. Rashford should play down the left with Højlund starting as striker. So he's got the more goal threat, so I suppose that favours selling Bruno as well. And obviously they've got Anthony and Sancho out as well, so maybe we see Bruno down the right. I'm just not sure about Man United's midfield, with Sancho and Amrabat also out. So it could be like Casemiro, Eriksen, McTominay, something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, it's a little bit punty, but that's what nudged me in favour of selling Bruno over anyone else. And also there's the potentially a couple of injuries in the Sheffield United defence. But, as I said earlier, I think it's also fine to just wait the next 3 game weeks, and then you'll have more information about if Son's still playing as a striker or not after these games. There is 2 tougher games after Sheffield United. And then it's Luton away, Fulham home. So it's perfectly fine to also not make the transfer this week and just see in a few weeks. I wouldn't trust leaked_FPL. I've got them blocked because they've got stuff wrong before. I know some people have mentioned them in chat. They could be right, but I think they said Jota and Szoboszlai. But they've tweeted stuff before and then it's been wrong and then deleted it. So once someone does that once, I'll never trust them again. And they might, I can't remember, I think they've done it more than once. So, yeah, I personally wouldn't trust them. They could be right about Jota. Tom Gilkinson, thanks for the super chat. Tom Gilkison. Will you do Saliba to Share or Johnston to Fleckham? That's a good question. Yeah, because obviously Henderson could get a start ahead of Johnston. Whether that happens this week or not sure. Depends who your backup keeper as well. Because if you've got the Turner-Johnston combo, then I think that is something to worry about. And I saw Turner's literally just had a baby, like yesterday or the day before. So I can't remember. Is it Flakodimos, the new keeper they signed from Benfica? Could he get a start ahead of Turner? That's at the back of my head as well. I'm a bit worried about Turner this week, but hopefully he plays. Saliba to Share, Johnston to Flecken. Just about Flecken, but it's very close. Yeah, I'd go Fleckham between those. I'm not sure if Brentford keep a clean sheet, that's the thing. But I'm not totally convinced Newcastle do either. So, you know, neither of those could be potentially upgrades this week. But I think Fleckham just about. Yeah, Fleckham. And you can still do Share next game week because Arsenal are against Tottenham. So you could still do Saliba to Share next week when they've got Sheffield United, I think. So, yeah, Fleckham. Russell says, play Isak or Pedro or go to Alvarez. Need funds. I'd play Isak. I don't think we can play Pedro until we see him starting reliably. I know Isak's been coming off early, but at least he's been starting. So I'd play Isak. Don't know if I'd do the Alvarez transfer, to be honest. FPL1 says, hi Oscar, doing Pedro to Alvarez, 4 hit on Maddison or Mbeumo in for Eze. What do you think? Yeah, Pedro out's fine. I wouldn't do a -4 to sell Mbeumo or Eze. Oh, you're saying you might bring in Mbeumo. No, I wouldn't -4 Eze out. Just do that first transfer. Don't take the -4. Thanks, John Boltman, for upgrading the membership to fplfocal Elite. Welcome to the Elite membership. Yeah, if anyone's interested in that, it's a tier I set up on request where you get access to another channel, Discord, and you get unlimited team feedback all season. So that's also an option if anyone wants to become a member of that. But yeah, if you want to join up for the base tier, it's only a couple of quid, and you get badged by your name. In the stream and comments, you get the private channel Discord, early access to videos. I think I missed a super chat, so apologies. Let me just quickly find that. It was from Zine Beta 2. Thanks for that. He says Diaz Jota for Maddison is a differential. I got Son already. No, I wouldn't bring. Are you asking about bringing in Diaz or Jota, or are you saying sell? I think selling makes sense for Maddison, yeah, but I wouldn't be bringing either of those in. Yeah, Maddison in for Diaz or Jota is fine, but I definitely wouldn't be selling Maddison if that's what you mean. But yeah, I like that. And Diaz, I don't know if he starts or not. There's rumours that Jota starts. We've got about 5 minutes till the deadline, so I'll keep an eye, but I don't know if we'll get the Liverpool lineup or not. I like Diaz to Maddison though. I like that a lot. Yeah, I would do that. Bench and Bumo. Sorry about that, Schneps. I think I missed that. Bench and Bumo, Foden or Alvarez. Oh, that's close. Between all of those, probably in Bumo. Away to Newcastle's tough. Tough game. I'd bench and Bumo. Right, how many transfers are you making? 43% 1, 34% rolling, 16% 2, 7% 3 or more. Munro says, took Foden out to get Haaland in as a differential. So my front three is Jackson, Højlund captain, and Haaland. The current differentials are Højlund and Szoboszlai. I mean, captain in Højlund's pretty bold. I don't like that myself, if I'm honest. I don't like Captain Højlund. Captain Haaland, but not Captain Højlund. That is super punty, I think. Like, he's had a cameo off the bench, and that's it so far. I know Brighton are leaky, but I don't know if I would be captain in Højlund. Right, any leaks? Let's see. We've got 4 minutes till the deadline. If there is anything last minute, I'll let you know, but it might not happen. Udogie captain. I don't think I'd do a captain Udogie. These are the projected points. One last time on FPL review for this game week. They've got Son top, Salah second, and then Maddison and Haaland tied in third. Saka, Odegaard, Rashford, Bruno, Gibbs White, Watkins, Jackson, Sterling, and Trippier. Those are the projections on FPL review this week. So yeah, Udogie's actually not even on there. I'm refreshing to check if there's any last minute leaks or anything. I mean, we've got 3 minutes till deadline, so you know, if you've got transfers to make, I would just make them now. Gibbs White Howe. They're home to Burnley. Burnley have been on the receiving end of 6 double-digit hauls this season, which is more than anyone. And aren't they like rock bottom or 19th? Edison or Turner? Edison. Leno or Turner? Leno. Alvarez on the bench. Alvarez should start, and I would start him if I had him. Is Gabriel starting? I think he does. I've started him ahead of Estepinian. Henry or Estepinian? Ooh. I'm not sure if Estepinian starts based on De Zerbi's comments, so I think I'd start Henry just about. They probably both concede, to be honest. Which defender's worth a -4? Probably none, Leslie. None. Super chat. Did I miss one? Sorry. One sec. Who was it? The Liverpool. The live game is Bournemouth versus Arsenal the week you're over here. Oh, is that the one? Nice. I'll take that. I've got Saka. I'll take that. Super chat from Luke. Thanks for that. There's no message with that one. Are you going to be there, Brian? think that's it. No last minute news. So that is just about the deadline. Let me know in chat when it actually passes. Anana or Turner? Turner. So that's it. I sold Bruno for Son. That was my transfer this week. So next week, yeah, I'm going to have to sort out Shaw finally. Hopefully, I'll finally sort out Shaw next week. So I might do Shaw to share next game week when Newcastle, I think they've got Sheffield United. So that's what I did this week. Eze Restopinian. Eze. I think that's it though. I think that's the deadline. Laugh Train says closed. Vites says deadline passed. Deadline. That is it. Bella says deadline closed. We are done. That is it for Game Week 5. FPL is back. The international break is over. Lots of great games on today. So we've got Wolves versus Liverpool first. The fixtures are gone now. It's so stupid that once the deadline passes, you can't even look at fixtures. Like, what's that about? Anyway, so that's me. I did Bruno to Son. I can't hang around today because I'm heading into London for a mate's birthday. So good luck to all of you this week. Hope you have a good game week. If anyone's not a member of the Discord, link below for that. There's about 13,000 FPL managers, so get in there if you're not a member. It's going to be bouncing today during those 3 o'clock games. So yeah, I think I'm rambling now at this point. But thank you all for tuning into the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to catch my FPL content coming next week, then subscribe. I might do a Champions League fantasy video as well, because that starts on Tuesday. So I might give that a go for the first time as a one-off video, my Champions League fantasy squad. So anyway, lots to come next week. Enjoy the weekend, everyone, and see you next week. Focal out.